happening for the last 6 months. This is our sixth episode. And you all know the topic that we are going to discuss today. We're just going to tell you how to make it more smoothly. So a bunch of us are here, who are going to talk about BLT and how you can be part of BLT. We have different phases, we have different features, and we will be inviting all of you to come to actually talk as well, ask us questions. We want to make it interactive. It is not a lecture, it is not a seminar, it is just to know you all and make you part of our journey. So while any discussion is going on, you have the complete liberty to use the chat box and do type out your questions, whatever questions that you might have as you start listening to us. And what we will do is we will stop in the middle of the talk somewhere. One of us, I have also Archana Karyappa. We both are the curators of this event. And one of us will probably invite you to switch on your camera and ask the question. And if you don't want to switch on your camera, that's also fine. Your questions will be asked. But that's all the rule. Just have fun and hope all of you come with us and be part of this enormous Bangalore Little Theatre family. So very, very warm welcome to all of you. So now I am going to head towards Sridhar, who is going to take us forward with today's Let's Talk Art. Sridhar, over to you.
Great. Hi, guys. Good evening and good morning or wherever you are. Again, welcome to this. This is probably an extremely, this is something we do periodically. BLT has been there for 60 years. And 60 years, we do have our mentor, Vijay, to thank for. But across over the 60 years, there have been many groups of people who have taken the organization forward. So being a voluntary theater society, if you will, is not something that's easy, but we have proof that it's possible. So I can assure you, at least none of these groups who are going to talk to you today have been there when BLT started, but we still are very proud of the tradition of what BLT is. So what we thought was, and then one other house rule, if you can, is do have your microphones on mute. When we request you, please unmute yourself and talk, just to make sure that others can hear what we are saying. So this evening, essentially what we're going to do is to kind of divide this program into several parts, right? Give you a very high level overview of what the structure is, so that you get to understand how we are organized, how things happen. There is some method in the madness, if you will. And then we would want to talk about how we are organized. So we have volunteers who are part of leading a lot of our initiatives, who will be sharing what we do. And Shatrupa will, look at the questions. If you have anything, periodically we will stop, ask questions. But we are going to keep this interactive. So our portion would be limited, and then we are going to open it up for discussions where you may have various interests. Already I see the excitement in the chat window. Somebody saying, I want to act, I want to do this. So a lot of you over WhatsApp have asked us, please, sir, give me a chance. We are not that kind of people, right? And we don't teach drama. But you do get to learn drama, but we don't teach it. A lot of this is experiential, participative. And one of the things that I definitely realized, I'm part of BLT Spots batch of 2006, right? BLT
2003.
2003. Thank you, Vijay. 2003. I'm part of Spot batch of 2003. He's the teacher. He remembers. I'm the classical student, I guess. So all of us have got introduced to BLT through many ways, and one of them is definitely Spot. And I thought, I did theater all the life, and then suddenly I found out that theater, what we do, is only the tip of the iceberg. There's a whole bunch of things that we do, and we are happy to share that. Let's move on shortly. Let's go to the next slide, if you can. Again, just very briefly, what our purpose is, and we believe in this, right? We want to make sure that we can spread the magic of theater to really inspire change. And you'll see what all we do there. And the thing that we are really proud of is we are inclusive. We are the first group to start doing Indian Indian plays in English, right? So we're very locally relevant. We are well connected with the various groups, and we are really all about fun and friendship. Going on, if you can move to the next slide. Yep. So high level, we are a foundation. So we are a charitable trust, and we are a foundation. The BLT Foundation has got broadly three groups, right? So one is performances. You will hear about what goes on stage, what happens. While during the whole of the pandemic, when we could not perform, we actually, a lot of you are part of, heard of our fellowship activities, which is really how do you get theater. So we do several programs, and I'm going to let those team talk. So it's not just about on stage. There is also fellowship that we do, and we want to start more things towards that. We need volunteers, and then there is the academy. The academy is something that we are very proud of. This is something that people don't do. Few of you have read before the pandemic started. We actually published original scripts for Indian scripts that we actually published 3 volumes, and that's something very unique. And we have a whole set of publication of original scripts is part of what we do. We also work with schools, and we have our team who will take you through that. And it's just amazing impact that we have created, and you're going to hear about that too. So let's go ahead to the next one, Shorty. Broad overview, there is a board of trustees, very eminent people, say one, I guess, or two. They say one, I would say myself. But we have this eminent group of people who are guiding us in part of what we do. So there is a lot of governance. We pay a lot of importance to that, how we handle money, what we do with it, what is the direction that we do. And then we can go to the next slide, which is the management committee. Again, this is again professionals, theater people interested in theater. You can see it's a whole diverse group of people, entrepreneurs, who all are part of the management committee. Again, none of us, I can safely say, has met each other before we came to BLT. And this is a group of people that were brought together, and we developed bonds as we did plays together and on other activities that really made us what we are. We can go to the next one, Shadi. So here, I don't know whether is Abhi there already.
No.
He's not well.
He's
He's
not
not
well.
keeping well.
So here is what I would do here, right? So you can see the three going a little bit more in details to performance, fellowship, and academy. What we will do is kind of give you an overview of what we mean by classics and one-off productions people understand. These are plays that are done many times over. But there are also other thrust areas in part of performance. So maybe I'll invite Deepak Padaki, who part of the committee, to talk about history of ideas, what that is all about. Deepak?
Sridhar, you can hear me?
Yes.
All right, great. Hi, everyone. Very nice to meet all of you. So before I get into the history of ideas, a little bit of history about myself. So I think I remember my first BLT production way back when I was 6 years old. I played a monkey in one of the earlier productions of The Ungrateful Man. It's a children's, it's part of our children's theater. It's really a lovely play based on the Panchatantra stories that we have actually done many times now. And then, really in the first, I would say almost 20 years of being in BLT, I was very involved in a lot of backstage things. And Shorty, always reminds me that one of the roles that I played, that of a prompt, has it's vanished. That role has vanished. So we don't have prompts in the drama anymore. But I dabbled a lot in backstage, did a lot of things in sound, in music, in lighting, tried my hand at makeup, didn't have a good go at that, but a lot of stagecraft, I know, helping Vijay in many plays, on stagecraft. And then, eventually got the bug and went on stage as an actor and directed a few shows. And some of the plays that I did more recently happened to revolve around what we call as, it started as science theater actually early on. It was all about finding lovely plays or even writing plays and then putting it on about events or people from history, right? Significant events or people from history. And the idea of that drama was to bring a different view and different perspective of either that event or a relationship and so on. And we've done almost 18, I think, 18 different productions over the years in what we have now, called as a program of history of ideas. And we typically have one of these every year. So in the early years, we had plays about Galileo, about Isaac Newton, about Ramanujam. And one of the most successful ones that BLT has done is an exchange of letters between Gandhi and Tagore, which we call The Prophet and the Poet, which has had more than 100 shows, all over the world, in fact. And so every year we try to come up with new ones. In fact, in the last few years, we've actually written a few, one based on Vivekananda, one around cancer, and it was called the Monsters in the Dark. And then we're right now starting off on a whole bunch of new ideas. We've got a lot in the pipeline, scripts that we want to write about, some very interesting stories from Indian history, a few about around Chekhov, and some great dramatists that we just feel that there's a lot of drama in those stories. So the history of ideas has been one of the very successful programs that BLT has put up over the years, and what it has also done is attract very new audiences. You can imagine if you're doing a play about Isaac Newton or Ramanujam the mathematician, or Rosalind Franklin, who was the actual person who discovered the structure of the DNA. We can take these plays to different types of audiences, not the typical people who come and watch plays, right? So suddenly we are performing in the Institute of Astrophysics, suddenly we're performing at IISc, and what that does is then introduces theater and the magic of theater, which is our purpose really, to completely different people who suddenly say, oh, I want to start watching a play. And these are also very, very lovely plays. So, as a stage person or an actor or a director, it's very fulfilling. And I think it's, the history of ideas has really been a great idea in our history and will continue to be in the future as well. So I'm really hoping that I've just taken on the mantle of having been in a few of these plays. I'm now running this program for BLT, and would love to have more of you join me and the team as we embark on more plays in the future. So Sridhar, with that, I'll hand it back to you.
Thanks, Debs. Again, if you have any questions, as Shorty has said, do put it in the chat. Periodically, we will open that up. Next is a new initiative that we have started. Shorty, if you can go back to the slide, is the on inspiring women, right? So, Shorty, do you want to talk about this? What we hope to accomplish here?
Yeah, hi everyone. It's so good to see all of you here. So I'm just going to take a minute to speak about this particular section called the Inspiring Woman. And as the title suggests, the motto of this particular section is to do more plays on significant and important women, and not only big characters, not only characters, historical characters, but also regular everyday women who are actually contributing to the society significantly. And in that regard, we had done actually two plays, one of which Deepak Padaki just spoke about, that is Photograph 51, which was on the life of Rosalind Franklin, and another one that I directed, which was Six Dead Queens and an Inflatable Henry. So I'll just take a minute and probably show you guys a bit about a couple of photographs for the Six Dead Queens and an Inflatable Henry, so that you also can get an idea about what we are speaking. Just 1 second. I'm so sorry. Yes, I'm there. There you go. So this is one of the photographs. As you, I hope you all can see. The play was actually about six women, the six wives of Henry VIII, and these women have all been in the lives of Henry, in the life of Henry VIII on different phases, and all of them have now died, and they have come together, and they're talking about what sort of a man, what sort of a human being Henry VIII was. Now, the most important, one of the important parts of this play was that this was not a very serious play, and yet we talked about something very serious. We talked about feminism, we talked about women empowerment, we talked about women as in women and their position in the society. But it was done in a absolutely in a comedy fashion. It was done in a cabaret form. There were songs, there were dance, and there were a lot of laughter, smiles. And till now we had like around 11 shows, and we also were fortunate enough to participate at the Red Curtain Theatre Festival in Kolkata, which happened in 2019 in December. So essentially, as I have mentioned, the purpose of this particular feature is to encourage writing on women, on the various battles that women have fought or fighting. So I would invite all of you. I mean, if you have the interest, if you have a topic, and you think that okay, we can do a play on this, then please. Please come ahead. Please get in touch with us. Send us a mail, or send us a DM, or call us, and be a part of the team. Be a part of the writing. Be a part of the acting, the production, because we're always looking out for such figures. And if you have any idea, I invite you wholeheartedly so that you come on board with us and we create another such play in the coming times. Thank you, Sridhar.
Sridhar, unmute.
Thank you. I didn't want to create extra noise there. Thanks, Deeps. So now coming to the next topic that we want to talk about is children's theatre. This is something that's super special for us. So maybe I can ask Archana and Vijay Sharma to talk about it. Vijay, in fact, has been spearheading the production of the last 3 years of 3 or 4 years, VS, on each of these things. So Vijay, maybe over to you. Why don't you take us through what happens here and what we've been doing?
Sure, Sridhar, thanks a lot. But before I get to children's theatre, Deepak Padaki, he talked about history of ideas, and it was around 2.5, 3 years back, and someone told me that we're writing a play on Emperor of All Maladies. Emperor of All Maladies is a 600-page thick book, talks about cancer, very boring to read. I said, what, you guys are crazy. And Ravi, he's there today. I don't know whether Kavya is there on this. You guys are crazy writing doing a play in this. But eventually it was such a wonderful script and phenomenal job, not just the play, but it took cancer as the theme. We went to Mumbai, we did it in Tata Memorial Hospital, NCPA. We went to Delhi, we did it in Kamani. Amazing. And the script was written, developed here in Bangalore Little Theatre. Just wanted to add that, Deepak.
Thank you.
Children's theatre. Well, it's about theatre or plays for children. We do it every year. We start on Children's Day, which is the 14th of November, and go up to around 20th of December. Around 20 shows, half of them for schools and half of them for open public. These are entertainers, absolute entertainers. But the great thing about this play is that all proceeds from the play, from the tickets, from the donations that come to us, go towards supporting children with cancer. So in the last 4 years, we have supported 91 children for initial treatment, and we collected 22.5 lakhs through children's theatre plays. So it's for the disadvantaged child, our commitment, BLT's commitment towards the disadvantaged child. It's great fun. We do it. We enjoy it. Schools love it. There are a couple of corporates who contribute towards the cost which goes in doing these plays. But more about some of the plays that we have done and what we do. Archana, over to you. You've directed them as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so, well, I started off with one of the most funnest plays ever, Maya Bazaar, which was directed by Sridhar and also written by him. It's it's amazing because when you are part of a BLT play, be it children's production, inspiring women, anything, you're welcome to be part of any of the group. You're not just an actor. And that's something you learn straight off. You can give your time for production, you can give your time for costumes, you can give your time for music. And it's nothing like, oh, only because you know how to do it, you do it. No, everybody kind of pitches in, and we make the impossible possible, even if that is 20 days to show, and hey, we don't have this last 10 scenes pakka, and the costume and sets need to be done. Everybody pitches in, and that's the beauty of it. And that's what, coming back to children's theater, I was part of Maya Bazaar. I got to co-direct with, under Vijay's mentorship, we did Year of the Rooster, and then we had Belly Full of Paradise, and then there are a lot more in the pipeline. Of course, we had 2020 that happened, and one of the most famous is The Ungrateful Man. We hope to bring it next year.
Happening this year, man. Happening this year.
Happening this year. I still think 2020 is going on, but yeah. So children's theater is a lot of fun, and it's not just on stage. And I want to reiterate that 100 times over.
So the last 4 years, we picked up a kind of a theme. 4 years back, we did something in India. Then we went to China and we did a play which is based in China. Then we went to Denmark and we did a play which is an old folk Denmark story. And then next year we went off to Mars and we did a play based in Mars. So it's fun. It's a lot of fun. But then, well, that's about children's theater. Let me switch to Courtyard Theater. Sridhar, okay?
Yeah. All yours, Vijay.
All right. So
VS dips here. I just want to add one thing, that when we talk about children's theater, it's not necessarily that children are performing. It's about theater that excites children, right? So it's
the
really high. Yeah,
Sorry.
The child in you. It's very high quality theater that we take around and really delight children. So I just wanted to make that clarification.
So this tag on to your comment. What we have found out in some plays is the parents actually, or the adults actually, laugh more than the kids also. So it kind of meets everybody's expectations, and that's how we've literally packed Rangashankara Christmas time 3 shows back to back to back, and that's the parents and the grandparents coming in with the enthusiasm. So it's really for everybody.
And one of the things that we did recently and tried out, it works beautifully, especially in schools, is just 10 minutes before the play starts, we get 2 of the kids from the schools and tell them, this is your role, this is what you have to do. Small bits, but they are part of the play. They come for the curtain call as well. And children just love it when they get onto stage. So it's great fun. It's a lot of fun. All right.
Vijay, while we have you here, there is a question from Shobha Raj.
Yeah.
Shobha Raj, if you're here, Raja, if you're here, you can switch on your camera and just ask your question. Shobha?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was just wondering if you've thought about any themes on the environment for children, because one of the things which I'm involved in is a little bit of scoping research on how the environment, nature, basically any green space and nature, birds and things like that, how it can, introduce children early enough, then they also become very conscious of the need to conserve, and basically because they're engaged. So I've been looking at research which says you have to introduce children early enough and get them engaged in such a way that they do it because they really care for the environment. So I was just wondering if that
absolutely, Shobha. Yes, sustainability, environment is a focus area for us. Is it okay if we just park this question, and when we get to theater in education, which is part of the Academy of Theatre Arts, We're going to touch upon this, and Minty is going to talk about what is it that we've done in schools, what is it that we're doing relating to environment and sustainability. There's not just one. We got a couple of initiatives, or more than a couple of initiatives, where we talk about this, and using theater as a method to take the message across to kids. Is that fine?
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
All right. So
Thank you.
Minty, when you get on to your part, do talk about the sustainability bit that we're doing. Also, maybe Thermos you can touch upon. Courtyard Theatre. Let me move on to Courtyard Theatre. So what is Courtyard Theatre? We bring theatre to you. That's the big thing. So during the pandemic, people can't get out of the house. When pandemic gets over, there is the traffic, and there's Netflix, and there's Amazon Prime, and who's going to go to the theater? It's becoming a big, big, big challenge. So what we do is we bring good quality theater to you. So what we've done is we had past plays that we have done, the ones which performed very well, which were received. There are also stories, great stories. And what we've done is we've taken these past plays and stories and re-scripted them, rewritten them in a 2-actor format. Just 2 actors, 60 minutes. Small audience, 40 people, great, 30 people, fantastic. Small performing spaces. We can come to your party hall or your tennis court, next to the swimming pool, maybe hotels. And we perform there. So what it means is we don't, and it's minimal sets, table, chair, maybe, that's about it. We really don't need lights unless there is very poor light and it's in the night. We don't need audios unless it's an open area or you actually need to have audio. So basically, very minimal staff, small audiences, plays themselves are educational or they are entertainers, or a mix of the two. Some of them are for children itself. And the actors are also, they just, there's no time to change costumes. So they just have one costume that they start with and continue till the end. And they play multiple roles, and they switch between one role to the next, to the next, to the next on the fly. So what it really means is high quality acting, performance. And we also interact with the audience. In some of them, we get the audience up to the stage and get them involved as well. So for example, the Gandhi Tagore play has been converted into Mahatma and Gurudev. That's one. Roby's Garden, which is Rabindranath Tagore's stories about children. We got the new one, the latest one out of the gate is Shakespeare by Any Other Name. A fantastic one. It takes you through 400 odd years, Shakespeare's life, how Shakespeare is received, but it also talks about what is, how do you do a Shakespeare play? What is iambic pentameter? And we get people from the audience to play certain roles while they're doing it. And then raises a big question as well. Was it really Shakespeare who wrote these plays? So we've got 8 plays. 6 of them have already been performed. The good thing that we did is when the pandemic hit us, we went online. We did some online performances. We are now recording these on stage using high quality recording as well. 2 of them have been done. And we have started performing again in open spaces where it's safe for people to sit distanced. So before the big performances come out, we're already there with Courtyard Theatre performances. And this is something that we're going to expand. So we've got something like 15 such plays in our list. 8 already ready. 2 more, we've got scripts, but we need 2 actors for each one of them to take this up. Good quality acting, take it. And we're developing newer scripts, interesting stuff. Back to you, Sridhar.
Hey, thank you, VS. Appreciate it. Again, just to add to what VS said, Courtyard Theatre is fun, close to your, close to where you want to be. So you want to be part of it. You think there are spaces that could do it. Let us know. In fact, a colleague of mine and we did a little portion of it for one of our office function things. So it was good fun. And it is for all. So I think it will be something that people can take a look at. Let's get on. I think we want to now take you through how we did stuff for the pandemic year. So I would let Morty talk about fellowship, what all happens there, and how you could be part of it. There is an area on italics, and we will talk about it towards the end. So Morty, all yours.
Thanks, Sridhar. So basically, we have a lot of activities for our members, and like Sridhar said, it's not just performances. So we'll just take you through a list of the different activities that we have for all our members. And Deepak will talk about Play Day Sunday. So if Deepak, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Murtaza said members, and people will wonder, how do you get yourself membership with BLT? I think there is no membership for BLT, just part of it. Okay. Okay, I'll be talking about Playday Sunday, and I was just checking my the calendar when we started and all of that. So we started in August of 2014, and we started with Oscar-wide importance of being earnest and yeah, and I can see a lot of people here have already been part of the readings at Playday Sunday, and they sort of have an idea of what it's about. But I'll still very briefly tell you what we do there. It's quite simple, really. We take plays from a diverse bunch of writers, plays of different styles from different parts of the world, exploring different, very many ideas. And yeah, and we do this on the first Sunday of every month. And I think since August of 2014, except for a few Sundays here and there we might have missed, we've yeah, pretty much been consistent with it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We get together and read a play. That's also an opportunity for us to meet a lot of the other, people at BLT, a place for us to come in, read a play together, go out, get some coffee, tea, and hang out and chat up on what's happening at BLT. So that's what Play Day is about. But since the whole pandemic thing hit, we've had to take it on line, and I think we've been doing fairly well. We've had a good audience, about 25-30 people turning up every month, and yeah, the online reading's been good too. Other than that, okay, let me introduce a team to you. There's Abhishek, I am part of it, there's Karuna, Murtaza, Rangashri, Lakshmi, Minty, Purnima, Venki. So all of us, we read a bunch of plays through the month to decide which play we want to read. We read about 4 or 5 plays, see if you want to pick a theme for that particular month. Next month is Valentine's Day, maybe we'll have something about that. Yeah, and that's what we do. If you guys want to be part of the Playday Sunday group, there are things that you can particularly be part of. There's one, you can be part of the group that's selecting the play if you're interested in reading plays. You can host the reading. Some of you might know how that works. There's the communication part of it. The poster would have to be designed for the play, and then put it up on different places, promote it and stuff like that. So there are a bunch of activities that are inside the Playday Sunday pit. So if you guys find any of that interesting, you can write into us. I'm sure the email ID is shared somewhere there. And I think this pretty much covers everything. But in case I've missed anything, Lakshmi, Murtaza, Karuna, do add.
Yeah, so well, while most of it is on theater, some people might not want to face the stage. And in that case, Playday Sunday is your thing, because just about reading, so you can come and read and change voices and test for yourself what you like before you want to, this is like testing waters before you get onto the stage. So that's what Playday Sunday is about, and we have developed a kind of community. So we look forward to the first Sunday of every month, as Deepak mentioned, to see people and to discuss after each play, because every month we're reading new plays. It's a new genre, new playwright. So there's a lot of discussion after the play day, after the reading as well on Sunday. And yes, so we would love if anybody wants to host a play. If you want to suggest a play and host it, or just want to host a play, we can give you a play. So you could host it. And like you said, it requires developing a new poster every month. So if you're interested in animation, graphics, anything, you could be part of the group. And yes, you could write to the email ID. We would request you to use the subject as Playday Sunday, so that we know you're writing about Playday Sunday. Thank you.
And I remember Lakshmi had come in for the first Playday Sunday, and she didn't quite know how the whole thing worked. Meaning, we just gathered around, and then you raise your hand, and then you sort of just read. So it's a voluntary thing. There's no registration. There's no you just turn up on the first Sunday at 5 p.m. If things open up, we'll move to Allianz, or we might still have the online thing going on. So you just turn up on first Sunday of every month at 5 p.m. and yeah, you get to read a play. That's about it.
So Deepak, if I can just add, one of the things that we also plan to do is because we are celebrating our Diamond Jubilee, we're also planning to read classic plays of BLT outside Playday Sunday. So that's another opportunity for everybody to participate. So watch out for that too.
Yeah. Thanks, Deepak. Shati, you want to talk about?
Yeah. So, okay. So you all are in, in Let's Talk Art. So this is Let's Talk Art. And just to tell you briefly, this Let's Talk Art started last year in August. And the prime reason why we started this, because there was pandemic and there was not much happening, but we wanted to keep a live theater. And, theater is not just alive through performances, but also, appreciation and talking about it and listening to people. So with that intention, we thought that we are going to have this online event called Let's Talk Art. And it was also part of the 60th, the 60 years of Bangalore Little Theatre. We had a whole lot of plan last year, but everything sort of fell flat. And but we thought, okay, why not do something, remotely. So that's how Let's Talk Art started. What we do in Let's Talk Art is actually we invite a person every month. And we talk to the person. We talk about his or her journey, his or her appreciation for theatre, what sort of work one wants to do, likes to do, and that's how we have been doing. Since then, there have been 6 episodes. The first episode was premiered with Ms. Arundhati Raja, who's the founder trustee of Jagriti Theatre. And then we had a lot of eminent people. We had Prakash Belavadi, we had Gulshan Devaya, and then we also had Bharadwaj Rangan, who is a very renowned film critic. So one of the points of Let's Talk Art is we don't want to restrict ourselves only in theatre. We also want to widen our horizon. So, poets are welcomed, artists are welcome, fine artists who are into fine arts, writers, film actors, cinematographers, scenographers, dramaturgs, anyone is welcome in Let's Talk Art. The basic purpose, as I've mentioned, is to listen to them, is to understand them, is to understand their journey, feel inspired, and maybe carve your own path as well. So yeah, that has been Let's Talk Art. And as part of Let's Talk Art today is what you're getting to know about Bangalore Little Theatre. We also had in the last month, we had Anshulika Kapoor, who was part of one of Bangalore Little Theatre's production called Maya Bazaar. And now she has, then after which, she also started her own group. So I don't know whether Anshulika is online or not. She was there. Anshulika, by any chance, are you there? No, I think. Okay. And today she has a very successful production house which does very quality plays, which does quality work. And she was part of the last month's episode where she talked about her journey as well. So yeah, I mean, that's it. That's for Let's Talk Art. Is if you want to be part of it, again, as Deepak said, there is no fees. As you know, you just register, you come, you listen, and if you think that there is someone you could propose to us for so that we invite, please do. Please do suggest names. Please do suggest groups. We would most certainly call them and have our episode. Yeah, that's it. That's back to you, Morty, for Monologue Circle. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Shoti. So Monologue Circle, this is a fairly new initiative that we've had, and it all started because we always get a lot of requests, like Sridhar said in the beginning, that how I would want to be part of a production and what can I do and stuff like that. Uh, all we have is 5 or 6 productions in a year, so you can imagine the number of people who can actually participate. That's a very small number. So we thought, why not come up with something that can satisfy the need of wanting to go on stage for the people. And that's how this idea of Monologue Circle was born. And so we decided that we'll do Monologue Circle every month with about 10 participants. And then we have a team. And the team is Deepak, Venki, Karan, Lakshmi, and Brinda. Some of them are here, the others aren't. And I think I'll let Lakshmi talk us through the process of the Monologue Circle.
Thanks, Murtaza. So
Lakshmi?
yes, so yeah, you can hear me?
Yep.
I assume I'm audible. Okay. So yes,
Yeah.
like Murtaza said, this is for those who want to act, but there's no platform. But so here we are, we're providing a platform to showcase your abilities. And how do we do that? We set out, interestingly, just one word as a theme, and you could interpret it any way you want. And we are often surprised at the different perspectives that one word can provide. And we usually publicize that single word theme in the first week of the month, and the Monologue Circle happens every third Sunday of the month. This has been so. This child was born during the lockdown, so it had been online until now. And the people turn up on the third Sunday of every month, showcasing their talent. Initially, I think this is Murtaza's brainchild, and it was meant to be for acting, but Brinda will tell you how it is steering slowly towards writing, and amazing ones at that. So yes, that's to it. Right now, it's to a close community. People come in, showcase their talent, their writing, their acting, and we publicize that after the event is done on the Instagram and all our social network channels, including YouTube. So please watch out for it. If you want to know what this is really about, you could go back and see the old videos. They're all centered in the single theme, and you could see how creative the minds can get. Over to Brinda.
I'd just like to add before Brinda begins that it's not just meant for people who are freshers or for whom it's the first time. It offers things for both, for people who are experienced as well as for freshers. For freshers, it's a new stage, and for people who are experienced, it offers them a stage to experiment. So, yeah, all of you are always welcome to try and participate. Yeah, Brinda, go on.
Yeah, thank you, Murtaza and Lakshmi. So we are only 5 sessions old, but the increased participation over the months has left us very encouraged. Each session includes the participants and the members of the Monologue Circle only currently, so it's not really open to the audience as of now. And after each presentation, so we really like to call it a presentation and not a performance, it's just to calm the nerves of the participants. The floor is open for comments and takeaways. Also notice I didn't use the word feedback. So it's a very casual, informal environment. And some of our past themes have been freedom, home, death, celebration, and change. So while it's very natural to interpret these, we are amazed at the sheer range of interpretations that our participants have brought to each of these seemingly limited themes, thus possibly confirming Descartes' philosophy, I think, therefore I am. Another thing we are intrigued by, like Lakshmi said, is the increasing number of original monologues. We are expected participants to pick up pieces from plays, short stories, novellas related to the theme, but many participants are bringing their own work, some of them brilliant and some as young as 17. So at the risk of sounding lofty, we may just be encouraging a new generation of playwrights. So all the Monologue Circle videos are available on BLT YouTube and Instagram channel. Please go watch them and increase our video viewership. It's good for our morale. So that's it from me.
Just adding on to that, Brinda. When we initially started off, the viewership of our videos were quite decent, but of late we've seen a great increase in numbers of the viewers. So I think, so this is a place where the person after the videos put on BLT channel goes and talks about their own acting pieces. So these form like a portfolio, if I can call that, of how your presentation has been.
Thank you, Lakshmi.
Yeah, I have one question, Brinda. Hello.
Yes, go ahead, Muthu.
Yeah, hi. To introduce myself, I'm Muthu. Sorry to join late. I'm also a theatre artist and I am a working professional as well. So I'm planning to move to Bangalore as soon as possible. And I am very eager to join the team like yours. PLT, I'm following many groups from Bangalore and I'm slowly learning Kannada. I'm basically from Chennai. So I am a theatre enthusiast and I'm still eager because I'm unable to go to stage, perform something, because I have performed mostly on epic plays like Ramayana, then Mahabharata, then Karna. So I want something like social plays and monologues. Also, I'm not a good writer, to be very frank. So, and I'm a good I can act very easily as a female or as a transgender or as a whatever character whatever character I get. I prepare myself. Even when I was given one small role in one play, I memorized not only my dialogue, sorry.
You do ask your question because we have more topics to cover. Is there a question that you have?
No.
Okay, great. Muthu, I think the best way for you to participate is to respond to the calls that come in for monologue circles, etc. So wherever you are, if you're in Chennai, no issues, you can just participate. I'm sure the team will take it forward from there.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Apologies because we just have more in the agenda and people want to hear more.
Yeah. I do understand. As a meeting coordinator, you will be having some criteria.
Thank you.
Sorry to have a long talk. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, I just add one more thing. That is, if anyone wants to be part of the team of Monologue Circle, Lakshmi's already said what are the different things that we do. Do write into us. Lakshmi's put that in the chat. It's at Bangalore Little Theatre at Gmail, and put the Monologue Circle in the subject line. Moving on to the fellowship meet.
So maybe I can just fill in there very briefly. Essentially, every year or every years, we do have a fellowship meet where we discuss what's happening in BLT. It's a meeting of friends. That's another opportunity to meet members of BLT. Hopefully, when the pandemic and the pandemic starts dying down and the vaccines start going up, we hope to have a meet. We hope to see you all there. Of course, in any of these, there's always a requirement of volunteers to organize the program and everything that goes behind running a program. And then, Marty, maybe I can just quickly update on theater appreciation. This is a workshop that we do. Minty may be talking about it, but it's part of what we do to build in an audience as well. So that's also very important. one of the initiatives that we want to start is theater review, like a theater circle. Today, if you look at it, the reviews have started going down. So we really want to build a group of people who can discuss plays, and we will provide a forum where they can talk about plays, reviews, write reviews. So if you are interested in that, that's something that you can let the fellowship team do. But this is an initiative that's why it's in italics. We will get to start it. Marty, if there's nothing else, I'll move to the ATA section.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Thanks, Murtaza. And then ATA, VS, would you like to take it over? And would you like to take us through what happens here?
Yeah, just a quick introduction from my side before I start on ATA. It was around 30 years back that I was in theater in Delhi. And then for 25 years, I was out of theater, didn't do anything. Then managed to get back on stage, and I was so scared. I thought I would freeze, I'll forget my lines. But then I was on stage and this light came on. It was magic. And since then, I've been on stage with BLT, few plays every year. But then I said, this is fine. This is being on stage or backstage and so on. But is there some development kind of work associated with theater? Do we use theater for good? And Shobha, you asked about sustainability and using teaching maybe the kids, telling them about sustainability. And that's when I found out this part of BLT, which is the Academy of Theatre Arts. So that's the theater development activity. It's if you like to compare it, it's like the R&D division of a corporate. It creates methodologies, methods, approach, script, and then it feeds into the performance area. So there is a big part of it is education enrichment, where our focus is on the disadvantaged child. So we work with schools for the lesser privileged children. There is methodology development, which is how do you train teachers? How do you train students? The spot workshops themselves, theater appreciation. And how do you promote talent? There are lots of people out there with talent, about writing scripts, about new directors, actors coming onto stage. How do you promote them? How do you get them? By and large, how do you get theater to a larger set of people? So I'm not going to get into details because there are further slides where we will go there, but maybe we can touch a bit upon financial management, marketing, branding. Ravi, do you want to take that on? And then we get back to theater enrichment after that.
Ravi, you're on mute and you're not on camera, so go ahead. Is Ravi there? That's the next question.
Maybe if Ravi is not there, we can pass it on to Minty. Minty, you want to take it on?
Ravi? There? Yeah. So maybe what we'll do in the interest of time, VS, is we will, Shorty, do you want to give a quick overview on what we require with respect to marketing, brand building, and then we can, I can fill in for Ravi. So maybe 1 minute or something like that for what we need to. So like any organization, we have a structure, we have budgets that we do. So BLT, as one would know, what you see is only the tip of the iceberg. There's a whole bunch of things that we do below. Financial management, managing, talking to funders, writing proposals is all part of what we need and what we do. So if you have a flair for that, and if that's your day job and you want to do it for fun, for something else, then you've come to the right place. Let us know. Ravi is our treasurer. Ravi, are you there?
I am, Sridhar.
Okay, we can just give 1 minute and then hand it over to Shorty. Great, thanks.
Sure. Hey, so welcome to all of you. If you guys are keen on doing work with BLT Backstage, work which involves not necessarily with acting or with taking care of back-end requirements. If you'd like to do work with finance, we'd like to understand how how foundations like BLT work, how you can pitch it into making a budget for the group, how you can fit in with cash flows. This is the right place to come in. So you guys can come in, hang out with us, write into us, and we'll be very happy to have you as part of the team that's working towards that. It's very silent work, but it's fun work, and you guys are welcome anytime. There you go, Sridhar.
Thank you. Shorty, do you want to give one line on what we need for marketing and building? Yeah.
So, you know how it is, like, for the survival of art, you need patrons, and how we do it is marketing. So we are also, as Ravi said, this is a back-end work. So please do come. If you know how to market, if you are into social media engagement, we're always looking for people for innovative and interesting social media content so that you attract audience. Ultimately, theater is going to survive if we have audience. And you know how to talk about the play, what sort of message we are going to give out, which plays for which audience, which sort of audience. We're always in lookout for people. So do join us if you have a background on marketing and you're there, you want to help us out. So our doors are always open. So please do come. We can have a short meeting and we can go on board with the future plays that are going to happen this year. Thanks, guys.
Shorty, if I could please add a couple of sentences to that. You know, the way I see Backstage working, I see it in two parts. One is the creative part, and all of you guys may be interested in the creative, adding some stuff to it, thinking about how the stage will look like, the layout, the props, and that's really fun, creative work. On the other hand, y'all may be list people. Y'all may just love lists. You may not like the creative part. You may love making lists, putting stuff, structure. You may like order. You may like putting stuff. Then also welcome aboard. We have enough of structural work to be done Backstage.
Ravi is talking about himself. So
no, I think Ravi, this is very interesting, and we can talk about the next slide, because I think the performance slide, I think you can really give them an idea about how to break it down. Okay, I think that's very interesting and very important.
Again, let's go to the next slide, because I think here VS, do take us, Minty and team, do take us through what ATA does, and go ahead, guys, all yours.
Minty, over to you.
Okay, hi. Yeah, hi everyone. So we're basically the theatre education team with ATA, and I think I'm just going to start with a video.
Minty, I'll just stop sharing the video.
Please.
I think then you can. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Go.
Minty, are you sharing?
Yes.
We're not seeing it.
Murtaza, are you able to share easily?
Okay, let me try.
I don't know how many of you know the old DD programs. There'll be a card that comes and says, sorry for the break. So
guys, just to tell you all, in the meantime, if you have any questions about whatever you have heard, so please write it down on the chat box, and we can ask you all to ask the questions to the respective people. Okay? Any questions, comments you have, please do write it down in the chat box.
So while we're waiting for there it is.
Are you able to hear the sound?
No, you'll have to share the sound as well.
You'll have to go to the beginning. Yeah.
One sec. Oh.
Click this box bottom left when you share.
Okay.
It says system sound. When you share, there's the box on the bottom left. It says something like system sound or something. You can just click it.
Can education really be effective unless it is relevant to the learner and unless it raises their level of interest and curiosity to know more? Theatre tools engage the totality of a person, their body, mind, and voice, and are well known to help a child or any participant in improving their critical thinking and problem solving skills. Theatre is primarily a group activity. Thus, it helps to improve interpersonal skills, communication skills, and build one's level of confidence as well. More than that, it is fun and experiential, thus keeping the participants engaged. It can also be of great assistance to a teacher in her classroom to keep her students interested and enrich the teaching of other subjects as well.
Okay, so that was just really in short a lot of the work that we've been doing in this field for a while now, and just spreading the totality of theatre to students, to teachers, to school children, also the general public through workshops. And basically, they sort of like often theatre is looked at as, annual day is coming up and we have to learn some lines and go on stage. So we're really trying to break that notion. We're trying to have theatre within the curriculum in schools, and so that it's people recognize that it's much more than even the theatre appreciation workshops that we have, which are usually one day long, or spot, which runs over 3 months, is constantly bringing out the fact that how it's helping you build a lot of skills, communication skills, confidence building, team building. And a lot of people already recognize that and come into spot not to learn to be an actor, like Sridhar was saying that, but they end up learning a lot more about themselves. And that's what's really important about theatre. It's such a wholesome art. And obviously now we've recognized that as part of our NEP also, that it's so important to integrate theatre and other arts into the education itself. So that was a bunch of things that we've been doing. And of course, when the lockdown happened last year, then we also had to innovate, go online. So we've actually come up with a bunch of workshops that are online now. And the first one was based on the pandemic itself, so that it's really relevant. So we realized that, so this is also in connection to, I think Shobhaji, who was asking about, sort of theme-based, or something on environment, something on a theme. So this is part of that work in our theatre and education. And we thought, let's do something on the pandemic. Let's get people to talk about what they're feeling, what's going around, what do they see around them, how is the whole globe dealing with the same thing in different ways. So we're just going to quickly play another video to show you what we did as part of that very shortly.
Hygiene. I mean, I've become more careful, aware. Staying at home, there's a lot of work to do because there's no maid servant.
Happy to stay home without teachers' stress. Fortunately, I can fly everywhere I want to go.
People will get to know our trouble when we are trapped in zoo.
Oh my god, full loss. I have full loss.
If I have a sanitizer that would even cost me like 100 rupees or 200 rupees, than that I could just feed my family.
I like my characters and I like Hitesh's song.
ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದು ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ತಿಂತಾರೆ ಇಂದು ತೇಗಿ ವೈರಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಹರಡೋದು ತಿಂತಾರೆ.
I really like Corona's mask. Very excited about making crafts and things. I'm so sad.
Until now, I didn't know about of difficulties faced by the lower class.
We were more imaginative and we had to think from different people's point of view.
My New World is an example of BLT's work in the field of theatre and education. We are happy to engage with schools and others to create such customized workshops, also those that could fit into other curricular subjects like history or science. We also have some ready plays around educational topics, which can be used as a fun way to explore those topics with children.
Hygiene.
Okay, so to quickly answer your question, Shobhaji, we actually do have a bunch of stuff. So we've even come out with a volume which Vijay has written original plays. We've got original plays on sustainability topics, and they're just plays around educational topics. Then there's one short play which is an award-winning one, again written by Deepak Padaki. It's called Thermos, and that's something we've taken to schools. It's based on it's a short 15-minute play that you can do in the classroom. You can do it anywhere very quickly with 2 actors. And it's around the topic of global warming. So it starts off with a very funny comic play, and then it engages the kids in questions throughout the play, and at the end it even ends in an activity where they need to explore, why is this global warming happening, and there are a bunch of questions that they discuss and then they share with the rest of the group. And we have a number of other things. In fact, our first year we were working on the topic of sustainability. This was with Azim Premji Foundation, and it was their Earthian program. So basically, we have come up with a handbook where we're looking at topics related to sustainability. And we try to even create sample lesson plans where looking at theatre tools and how they can be used in sustainability topics. So, and there's another play which is called Robots, which is again looking at the whole thing of technology and sustainability. It engages with that. So we do have a bunch of plays. We even have a whole bunch of folk tales, which often are, culture entwined with environment. So yeah, we do have. You can write to us, and we can look into how we might share those with you.
The folktales volume will actually be one of the publications that Sridhar was talking about. We've had 3 publications, 3 sets of publications. We have another 6 volumes coming up. One of them will have the folktales, and also the other environment related, the robots and the ones which you spoke about.
Yes, that's part of the volumes.
Yeah.
So we actually conducted this My New World workshop with a silent bunch of kids, and then we reached out to another school, Shishumandar, loved the program. It's a 10-week workshop, once a week class. So it's basically 10 to 12 sessions, 10 to 12 hours of work with the children. And it ended up in a play as well. So and in fact, even that script is very interesting because they're looking at how Earth is, polluted, and all the children are, all the other planets are laughing at Earth. And then they and Earth makes a deal with Corona to come and wipe out these humans who are polluting the Earth. So it's actually, again, to do with environment and sustainability. It's also a very good script. So then that school, in fact, asked us whether we could do other workshops. And one that they wanted was on communication skills. And that's what, sorry.
No, there's one question is how should they contact you? Should they contact you by email? I think
Yes.
Shobha's asking that.
Yes.
Or do you want them to write to bangalorelittletheatre.org, the address? Maybe I would suggest that with interest in theatre education. So maybe one standard way, we'll post the address again, and you can just put in your subject line theatre education.
Absolutely.
That's it. There is also a Google form that has been shared with everybody. We will share the address here again. If you're interested in any of these things, just fill it up, and we will form that. So
sorry, just to add on to what Sridhar just said, guys, do mail at bangalorelittletheatre@gmail.com. Just put the subject, whichever area, whichever interests you. So we'll know, and the respective people will get in touch with you. Okay, thanks.
Okay. So we just want to share a quick, communication skills has been quite a popular one. It's actually another school also has signed up 2 batches of children, and that's going really, really well. We wanted to share a little bit of feedback, and we're again trying to focus on teacher training in the small way that we can online. And the teachers have given us really good feedback of how they can take this ahead in their classrooms. So just play a quick.
Shorty, can you unshare? Shorty, you may have to unshare the screen. Yeah, thanks.
Murtaza, you'll share?
Yeah, I'll do that. Just a sec. Where did it go?
It's there in the bottom one, the OTA.
Marty, it's called Com Skills.
Yeah, that's the one. No, the one on the right.
Here, I found it.
Last Saturday also we enjoyed very much, sir. So I was very curious that this Saturday what we are going to do and what all we are going to enjoy.
Class was energetic today. Everybody was participating. It was comedy, sir.
Sir, the class was joyful, sir. First, I was feeling, what to do. Everyone are doing. I was feeling little shy, sir. Then after everyone doing, I felt comfortable and I have done, sir.
Like I was saying, we always do, speaking activity
That's our but we give them a topic and they speak on it. But this was something different. I thought this is a twist, a different, like a fun speaking activity where you can randomly, they can choose their own partner. So, they can have, both of them can do the speaking activity. One can act and the other can speak, and it's vice versa. And also, I thought a lot of skills through this. First one is sequencing, that we teach them as we can, do it through this activity. And then I also taught vocabulary, like they learned a new word, apron. And you can make even the audience be active. You can say each of you can at least jot down 3 vocabularies as you're watching the activity. So they're also, active and not daydreaming. And then observation skills, something that's really important. And in turn, speaking. So I thought a lot of skills can be addressed through this one speaking activity. So I really like it. And I'm sure we're going to use this.
So glad to hear that. Yeah.
I feel like a lot of children have a lot of inhibition. And even if it is just to speak, even if it is to make a simple sentence, they are so scared that they'll be wrong and what other people think. That's why I was waiting and watching whether Kaveri would actually come back and say, can I act now? Because she's very quiet in class. And even Chaudeshwari also, for that matter. So I really like the fact that there are a bunch of them that are over and through, but there are a few of them. It is really nice to see them open out, and that's good. Yeah. That they have this communication class, which will help them to be more open, to be more outspoken. It will help them in their subjects also.
Yeah, I'd just like to reiterate. So this was after just 2 hours of working with the children. It was after the second session we had the children with the children, and this is the feedback that we got. Then the other thing, so as some of you might know about SPOT, every year we do conduct SPOT, which goes over 3 months, summer project in theatre. That's a theatre appreciation workshop open to the public. And of course, we couldn't do that this year, but we have come up with an online version, which is focusing only on improvisation skills. We already completed 1 batch, which was very successful. And we're going to open up another batch starting next Saturday. And we just want to show you a little clip about that. And we're looking forward to people joining that as well.
I had heard about improv and it was all about just, humor. But over here, it was not only about humor.
All these activities that we all had were really fun, well thought out, and they were gradually increasing in, the intensity to put us on the spot. It happened that I was really tired. It was so amazing that it just transformed me. I would feel actually rejuvenated and energized.
I'm much more alert about what I hear and listen to. And I've never volunteered to be first in anything as much as I've done in improv.
It has been quite a journey, I would say. I've enjoyed it very much. Spot. What you gonna do when you're put on the spot? Cry like a baby, laugh like a monster, run away like the bolt. On the spot, we'll teach you how to deal with your thoughts on the spot.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, so just to let you know that the registrations are already on, the form is open, and the next session starts on 13th Feb.
Yeah, so all of you, you can register for this. If you want to get involved with the other work that we do with children, you want to get involved with actually, facilitating sessions, that'll have to be a longer term engagement, but there's lots of little opportunities if you'd like to volunteer with us, creating the videos, posters, a whole bunch of things. Yeah.
May I also add what you guys are doing with NCERT with the new recommendation where you are building in theatre along with education. Maybe one line on that. So there may be teachers here or people who may know teachers who can sign up with you guys.
Yes, absolutely. So like My New World was a theme-based one. So that is theatre in education is basically using theatre tools to teach other subjects. So, I mean, it can actually go in the curricular subjects, or you can pick up a theme that's, relevant at the moment, and one can devise workshops. So we can devise short workshops, we can devise long workshops, and really, and like how you saw, these teachers are able to just pick up something for their English class, for their history class, for vocabulary. So there's a lot that can happen with teachers.
One area, one area we're focusing on is the science and math subject. And if you look at 8th and 9th, how do we teach certain concepts using theater, which could be storytelling, could be role play, could be music, could be dance, various methods within theater itself to get the people interested in that particular topic. So that's a set of areas that we're working on right now. I'm building a repository.
So if you're interested in that, you can also join us for that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Is there anything
Does
else?
anyone add anything?
No, I think we've
Okay,
covered everything, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Sridhar. On to you.
Thank you. Again, a quick overview of the other areas. That theater education is something we're totally passionate about. So you could see it in the team, and you could see the impact that they're making on teachers and students and also others, right? Then there is other things that we do. We do periodically conduct director workshop. We do train the trainer workshops. There is something called New Voices that's coming up once the pandemic is over, where we are looking at new work, working with colleges to create that. All of that requires a lot of support. So plenty of theater related development work that's happening. And you should feel free to reach out to us if you're interested. But some of you may have friends who are interested. So please spread the word. I think BLT has made it so far because of the fellowship, and it's very important. In the interest of time, maybe I can go to the next slide.
Just one line, Sridhar. There's a lot of work that we do on the script development side as well. And as part of New Voices, it's new scripts, new directors, new actors. And a lot of these new scripts actually feed into the performance side. Very important to have new scripts to have a vibrant theater community in a particular area. So big focus area for us.
Thanks, VS. And we also published it. So
yep,
that's also a big plus that we do. The last area that we've, last but definitely not the least, is on performances, right? So what everybody says, we want to be on stage. But there's so much of work that happens, and we are trying to go into the next level by doing this. And if you join BLT, you would definitely get to be a part of it. What I would now request is we have Shorty, Archana, Minty, and also Ravi kind of take us through what happens, what's their experience, maybe about 10 minutes, which will give us about 5 minutes for more discussions on that. So over to you guys. Archana, would you want to take it over and then pass the mic around?
Hi, guys. So as we were saying, there are a lot of plays that happen every year. Our calendars are always almost booked. We kind of decide previous year what we're going to do. And we have one play for every topic we spoke about today. And as I said before, performance is not just on stage, it's off stage, and take it from someone who has done everything on stage and off, except for lighting. But we do also encourage people to do lighting, backstage, costumes, all of that. So when it comes to performances, we also encourage newbies to give their views on plays and scripts and also directions. We have something called the director's workshop that happens, and some of us have all done all of that and be a part of this performance team. And we have traveled, part of BLT, we have traveled to various places, like Gandhi Tagore has traveled around the world. SDQ, Six Dead Queens, has traveled to Kolkata. And with Monsters, we travel to other places. And most of this, all of us volunteer our time here. All of us are professionals in other fields. We have day jobs, and we kind of moonlight as artists. And this is how we work. We are a group of passionate people who like to do theater in our free time and love it. And we almost give it more time than we give to our day jobs. I shouldn't say that, but that's the truth. So over to the rest of you who have been part of this for a long time, and your views about the plays and stuff.
Okay. Just a small teeny weeny correction. Archana said that we all have day jobs and we do theater in free time. However, this is my job. I am a full-time artist.
Yes, yes.
I don't
So
have work.
I stand corrected.
This is my work. So what you see? Okay. I just want to say very briefly a couple of things that theater, as Ravi was mentioning, theater. There are various parts of theater, and theater is just not what you see on stage. And I firmly believe, I am a director and an actor, and I firmly believe that before an actor even comes in the team, there are a lot of work that goes backstage, which is basically as how Vijay has said. Vijay just spoke. Preparing right from the start of preparing the script, understanding the topic. What topic are we going to? What is the topic? Who's our target audience? What is the message? How to prepare the script? There are different stages of preparation of the script. After that is done, there is the whole production management. There is a stage manager, there is a production manager, and everyone in the team sort of has to abide by the rules that the stage manager, the production manager sort of lay down. And in that regard, I would actually ask Ravi to speak a bit, because Ravi has been fantastic and a hands-on production manager. I have worked with Ravi in Maya Bazaar, and I had so much time because Maya Bazaar was a production where we were basically making everything from the scratch. So if any of you have seen Maya Bazaar or part of Maya Bazaar, you would know the sets that you have seen on stage where everything were actually done right from the scratch, like the painting, the cutting of the pages, the coloring, and and it's like a whole community event. We all get together in one space, we start doing it. We had to create a forest. We had to create an entire forest, and we got a lot of assistance from a lot of people. We joined newspapers, we started coloring, what color will go, what color will not go, because you also have to make it attractive, also have to grab audience's attention. So things like that go on. Same goes to costume design. I remember designing costumes for this particular children's theater called the Year of the Rooster, which was, as Vijay mentioned, which was based in China. So we actually wanted a costume, all the costumes to have that flavor. So we track down tailors, we surf in the net, what sort of designs should go in, what is the color combination. So if a character is evil, what sort of colors you can give to an evil character as opposed to the hero and the heroine. And because it was from China, we wanted to preserve the authenticity. So right from the music to the costume to the hair, everything has to speak about that tone. So these are very exciting things, and these cannot be done without collaboration. So we essentially ask you to please come if you have any talent, if you're interested in designing set designs, if you're interested in set design, if you're interested in costume, if you're interested in writing, please do come. Also come if you're interested to act. But that is given. We do plays of various kinds, so there are various characters that are there for you to explore. But remember, as Archana once mentioned, if you are on stage, it does not mean that you won't be part of the backstage team as well. So come with an open mind and come with a zeal that ultimately this is going to become your baby. So yeah, we are all there, and we want to explore. Don't worry if we fail. There's not a problem. But we want to explore. We want to experiment. So if you want to experiment, this is the place. BLT is the place. So Ravi, yeah. Sorry.
Before let me set the stage for Ravi. I've shared a picture with everyone.
Right.
On the chat, so you can just open it. Right. So that we call the Maya Mobile. Essentially, it's a Scorpio. The whole play, the props, everything was designed to fit into the back of this. So this is a challenge because in Bangalore, as you know, nobody is going to come to Rangashankara all the time. So we actually, all our plays, and I'm just giving that as an example because Ravi did that, managing the whole thing. And I will let Ravi talk about it. But
yes,
the idea is to put it in a back of a small car or anything like that and transport it in all our plays. That's one example that I had. But the other plays also, everything was put in the back of a car so that you can actually have an experience that the audience can get. You can just look at the image that I've shared with everybody, but that's something. So Ravi, over to you.
I still remember the number, Sridhar. I still remember the number. We had exactly 119 props.
Yeah.
Right down from an arrow all the way to that big guy who was there at the backstage. He had 119. And this is again for people who love making lists. We have a list of lists. We make like a list. We are like completely a list, like a structure.
List on paper, list on phone, and then list with other.
And Ravi, remember there were props which were as small, like
As
this
small.
small to this
And
big.
This big, and we had to make sure everything comes in, right? Otherwise, imagine weaving like a balloon back, which is like going to be like a big part of this, and saying, "Hey, wait a minute, I don't know where that balloon is in the middle of the stage." So we really had to make sure that it all came together. We had to be creative, we had to be structured, we had to be having all of it together, and I can't tell you how much fun we had. And let's not even talk about all the gossip that happens about all the people who are on stage, which obviously we don't share with them.
And
this
Ravi,
is the best part of being part of Backstage. You get to do all of this.
And just wanted to mention this, that Ravi also had separate bags. So let's suppose there is a bow and arrow. The bow and arrow cannot go in the red bag. It has to go in the black bag.
Sacrilege, sacrilege.
Guys, just to add, right? Again, this is for the fun play. When we did Photograph 51, that's a science-based play, right? You got to get X-rays of DNA. And I remember Purnima Kandan, part of the team, she said, I know people in IASC, we actually hunted down and got an old DNA crystallography machine. That was the centerpiece, right?
Wow.
So we actually went to IASC to understand from a professor what was the DNA solved, what is the structure, how did she work? She actually taught us stuff, right? And we put that in, and we created X-ray images of all of those X-rays. And the most important thing, I know Aruna is not there. She was very keen that a red light to show that X-ray is being developed be shown on stage. So we actually had lighting, rig up a red light that will come on at the exact time. Of course, I want to also ask Minty to talk about costumes. She loves tailoring, and that's something that also happened. But I would...
sorry, Sridhar, before we go to Minty, Archana, would you like to tell them about the whole designing of costumes for Six Dead Queens and how we sort of got it done?
Sure.
So just to give an idea, guys, Archana Karyappa was the production manager for Six Dead Queens, and she managed single-handedly everything. Every aspect of the production was managed efficiently, like super efficiently by her. So Archana, maybe just a line on how we sort of got it done.
So one information, every member of BLT has been backstage. They probably started backstage, and there are kings there. So this was a fun one. It was all women's. We had actor, director, production, everything, all women. Of course, we had some mentors from BLT who were not women, who helped us out get stuff going. So the costumes were coordinated with this one person in Chennai, who we never met, through one of the cast members, and how she just said, give me a budget, we'll figure this out. And she designed, we kind of just shared all the designs with her online. It was completely online. We never met until she kind of came 10 days before. We said we needed to do a photo shoot to get this going. She comes 10 days before, and that's when we saw these beautiful creations. It was just talking on phone and saying, you know what, we wanted like this, we wanted to look gothy, we wanted to look fun. It was a very different experience because you get to meet and talk to people that you normally wouldn't even think would be interested in these things. And so you guys get to make all of this in great connections. So I'm so glad to see so many of you all here, because now we get to do more connections with all of you all.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. I'm Rangashi here.
Hi,
Since
Rangashi.
Since we are speaking about Backstage, I would like to add some points, like the kind of experience that I had with BLT. Actually, I started my journey with BLT through watching plays in Alliance. Then it was, progressed to play days, Sundays. Then I worked as backstage assistant for Monsters in the Dark, which was based on cancer theme, and it was written by Ravi and also directed by Deepak and Murtuza. I would like to add on, like, I had an amazing experience. So it was not only working, and as you people were telling, like, it made me to work a lot very practically, either like working for the back end support, or else like designing the stage. Of course, Aruna, who is not here right now, she helped us a lot and guided like in which way we need to enhance. And the experience what I had was amazing. And of course, we all traveled to Mumbai, and really, like, I would like to tell the people who are right now, like, please do join. You people will have a lot of fun as well as a lot of learning in this aspect. So it was a great experience for me in all ways.
You
Thank
might
you.
also want like to escape from backstage, go and hide and see the sea. Remember that, Ragashri?
Yeah, me and Archana, like, oh my God, we had a lot of fun experiences. We both did a lot of, hangamas also. Like, yes, that was truly a very good experience. And I've been continuing. So thanks to all of you, and thanks Vijay sir for creating such a beautiful hub. It's like a home. You can enjoy as well as you can learn, and you'll meet great people. And it's a kind of whole experience in my life, like being in the BLT.
Thank you. Sorry, before we wrap up, Minty is. We were hoping if Minty, you would like to say a few words, because Minty is really hands-on with designing and tailoring and everything. So
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
I mean, actually, not so much designing, but yeah, tailoring. So, I mean, like, basically, like Shatrapa said, I'm also doing full-time theater. So, but most of my work happens with children and the education team. But the fun part of BLT is you get to get involved in everything. So that's what happens. There's a play happening. There's not enough. We don't know who to reach out to. I've done tailoring. I've stitched costumes. For the iceberg is melting, I remember designing the costume and stitching it for the penguins. So it's really exciting. And in fact, there was another play where they said, can you do lighting? I mean, I don't know how to do lighting design, but someone else designed it, and they said, okay, these are the buttons you have to press. And I was so scared, but I managed to do it. And I also realized that that's such an important job, because if I don't turn on that light, that person is not going to be visible. And, the whole play just goes. So it's really nice that you get to do dabble with so many things, and then you see the totality of theater, because it involves so much. Usually we just look at, oh boy, I want to be acting and I want to be on stage and visible, but there's so much that helps you to be visible on stage, and it's so important.
Thank you so much. Over to you, Sridhar. I think I can
So,
stop sharing
yeah.
my screen now.
Thank you. Again, one of the things that we did not talk about at all, and this is the funnest part of being part of BLT or a production, is all the goof-offs that happen on stage. I mean, that or the backstage, that's hysterical. And we have a lot of stories that happen there. So with the interest of time, I think we just want to wrap up. We'll take a couple of questions. Max, if there's anybody has a question, feel free to ask us at this point of time. It has to be a question, please. Thank you. We'll open it for questions. If there's none, not to worry. You can send us an email. The forms are active now. We've also shared a link with our, can you fill Google form within a day or two? Yeah, that's available. It's also on YouTube, so you can go ahead and look at it on YouTube as well. And if there are areas that you would like to join, please feel free to join there. We've also shared with you our annual report. That link, I'm just going to paste it again so that you can take a look at it. A lot of what we said is already there, so we'd appreciate that. Great. Anything in particular from anybody? You can type in your message.
So okay. So right now, can we all ask you guys to switch on your camera because let's see your lovely faces. And since we have spoken a lot, and we hope to see all of you in the for our productions which are coming, which are going to happen this year in any way. Thank you so much for coming in, and please do switch on your cameras, please, and this is to all the Manacom members as well. Yeah, please do. So Archana, if you can just take a photo of this lovely faces, we're all here. And either Archana, any one of you can. Yeah.
Shatarupa ma'am, thanks
yeah.
a lot for giving an opportunity to join this online meeting, and hope I will be back to Bangalore as soon as possible, and I will be on stage or backstage, and I'm also trying to build my skills in teaching as well, so that I can teach kids like how to do these things, even for a short play. When there are many people, when I go for some functions, I see kids, they are ready to come to stage and perform something, but they feel shy, like someone might think, as Priya and someone said, like they are feeling like someone might say something. They are afraid of that only main thing. We just need to push them ahead, like give some positive vibes. Chalo,
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your idea. So we would like to see you as part of BLT family in anything. So please do come, and thank you all of you for turning up. It was great. And as I said, Let's Talk Art will happen again. So please like our social media pages. You will get all the updates. We always put our
Hello, ma'am.
Shwati, Veena had a question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got this from Shanteri,
Right.
one of my very good friends.
Right.
So, and really liked everything that spoke about today, the program.
Thank you.
So, and I have also, as being a theater artist and also a Bharatanatyam dancer, would really like to be happy to be a part of this. So just wanted to tell.
We are going to be happy to welcome you with our open arms. Please do come. But as Sridhar said, we have a Google form that we have posted in the chat box. Don't worry, that the link of the Google form will also be available on our social media pages. Fill that up, and let's come together. And whatever audition calls or Monologue Circle, for the calls for Monologue Circle or anything, is always posted on our Facebook or on our Instagram pages. Do write to us and come back again for next Let's Talk Art and anything. Come back again for anything of BLT.
And how to like the page, ma'am? How to like the page on Facebook?
If you go to the Facebook, there is you type Bangalore Little Theatre. Then on the right hand side, you will find a thumbs up like this. Just click on that.
Yeah, Bangalore Little Theatre.
Yeah, Bangalore Little Theatre. So, and after that, you will get all the information in there. Okay.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you so much.
And if you go onto our website, you can also sign up for the WhatsApp group. So that is also possible.
Oh, that's really good, sir.
And one main thing is,
Surely very
we all should
exciting.
pray to God that Corona should go away and we should start our activities.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You have been amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. See you all of you.
So I want to make some work also, because I'm a working professional, but I like to do some theater, like to entertain people.
Absolutely.
I'm missing it a lot.
Absolutely. So, okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Great session.
Bye,
Thanks
ma'am.
a lot.
Again.
Yeah.
Thank
you.
Bye.
Happy
Bye.
evening.